to the OneCNC tutorial on planar roughing. You can see on the screen I've got myself a model there in position. I've also dropped it 4mm from the top because I want to cut from Z0 here, so I need to remove some excess on the stock there as well. So if I open up the NC manager and go into create model toolpaths like planar and Z level, select the operation, and the first operation is planar roughing. Select OK. I've got myself a 10mm cutter. Tool number 1, spindle speed 3000. I've got my coolant on, G54. My milling feed is 1000 and my plunge is 100. Select next. My rapid is 5 above the job. My clearance is 1. Next. And this is where we select how we want to cut the job. At the moment I've got it at 0 degrees. Zigzag minimum clearance, I've got nothing in there. I'm roughing out, so I'm going to leave a milli on there, and I've left it at 50 microns there. And now at depth of cut I want to put a 1mm cut on and constant step over of 2mm for the step over. And at the moment I'm using zigzag. Zigzag means when it goes backwards and forwards. So it puts a cut on that way, which is zig, and then it steps over and puts a cut coming back, which is zag. So it's just putting a cut as it's going across, back, along, cross, back, across. So it's zigzag. It's just going backwards and forwards. If you want to cut it conventionally, one way only, this is how we would do it for conventional, or if we want a climb mill, which is the same. So it will go across, wrap it up, start, come back down again, put a cut on, and then wrap it up. So we'll use zigzag, 2mm step over, select next. I've left the milli in there, yep, next. I'm going to use an extents box, and the extents box means I want to go and look at the model on the screen. I don't want the center line of my tool to come outside of this boundary, which is normal. If I wanted to come outside of it, you could see it's on the outside. If I wanted to go stay on the inside, the center line would stay on this. It would only cut as far as the center there, which would leave you this bit inside of it, not cutting. So in this case, it would be normal, you going up to the center line of the extents box. Select next. So at the moment, if we show a preview, you can see it's created a block form around my model. If I actually wanted to add more to that, I could say if I wanted to add another 20mm on my stock, I could add 10, and you can see it's extended that stock by 10mm in all directions in X and Y. If I wanted to put it in the Z and said 10, you would see it was lifted up the block as well. So this is actually looking at the model itself on the screen. So I'm going to put that at 0, and you can see this becomes -5, and that at 0. So this is now measured the block from 0 to 100, and in Y 0 to 100. So that's the size of my block. I'm going to start the job. I want to, even though I put it down -5mm to cut the job below the Z0, I'm now going to command that I want it to start at 0. And if I show the changes, you'll see it's added the stock to the top. Select finish, and you can see it's created a toolpath there. If we just click on the operation, you can see the toolpath. And also I want to make some stock, and what I've done is I've pinched the sketch from the bottom of here. If I'd have clicked on here and then just clicked on that there, which is extract the surface edge, select the surface to extract. I won't do it over twice. And if we go to display glass, you can see I've extracted, because I want that to be my boundary. So let's go back to normal. So let's simulate what we've got at the moment, which is simulate and rest machining. We're going to pick a boundary, stop at rapid gauge. Top of the job is 0, we're going -40. I put visual on course, just because we're roughing out at the moment. Select OK. Then the software says pick the boundary. Left click, right click, and as you can see, it's putting a toolpath across there. So it's on -2 now. So really it should be machining all that flat across there, which it is, because it's already, I've told it it's 5 milli on top of there. I've dropped my model down 5 milli. -4. You can see the tool turn red when it finishes the job, and now you can see it's going into the form, but it's zigzagging, cutting backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. If I just slow that down so you can see it. So it's lifting off because it needs to find the next value to come into because of the form changing. Okay, let's go on to 10, which is what I've speeded it up to, and you can see it roughing out the rest of the form. You can spin this around and rotate it. As you're looking at it, you can actually section through it if you want to section it, and you can have a look at section through what you're cutting there. You can adjust the section one way or another. You can see the forms coming now. Turn that off. And we can also, if we want to, we can rest machine and have a look at what excess material is. And this is actually looking at the model itself, comparing it to what we're machining. So if we select resting, at the moment it gives you some indication here. If you have a read, it explains what material it's leaving behind. You can actually turn this off when you understand it, and you can actually go into the properties menu and turn it back on again once you've turned it off, but it'll always come up all the time. Select OK. Then you can see it's leaving material in, because if it was cutting to the surface, we've left a millimetre on there, it would turn out grey and grey, same as the model, because the sides of the model are grey, as you can see. The yellowy reddish, that's a milli plus, and that's a milli, and you'll see when we've done it. So when you finish the rest machining, you can just press this button, and it will take you continually go back into what you're doing. So I'll let it just machine that out there, the rest of it, and you can see you've roughed out your job. Select rest, select OK, and you can see it's still left material in there. So take this off, right click it, edit operation, same tool, next. So if I decided I would just want a decline mill, and I could cut it at any angle I wanted to, let's just say 45 degrees, next, normal, next, finish, and you can see it's cut at 45 degrees. So if we simulate it again, select OK, pick the boundary, right click, let me just take that to real time, rewind, so you can see it's just lifting and cutting in one direction only, and when the tool lifts up you see it turns red, so that shows you it's a rapid move. Let me pull that back a bit, so you just cut it in one direction instead of zigzagging. Okay, so let's right click, edit operation. Before I edit it, 45 degrees, 0 degrees. So if you want to do planar roughing in OneCNC, that's how we do it. Hopefully that'll help you get started, and thank you for watching.